Abby, thanks very much. We welcome you to Wednesday Night Baseball presented by T-Mobile. Tonight, it's the Red Sox playing host to the Chicago Cubs. These two teams tied together by that postseason of 2003, the postseason of Boone and Bartman. In the last 10 years, no postseason wins for the Cubs, 6 losing seasons for the Red Sox, and went in the other direction. 3 world titles, including last year, and 7 seasons with 90 or more wins. Hi, everybody. Welcome inside the broadcast booth. John Shambi alongside Rick Sutcliffe. The Boston Red Sox, talk about that last 10-year stretch, been very nice, but this year it's not going so well. 8 under 500. Last year's team led the majors in runs per game. They're last in the American League in that department. How did we get here?
Well, as John Farrell told us before the ball game, we've all contributed. And the problem is there's been a lot of those guys that have not contributed enough, particularly offensively. But when you think about what happened over the winter, they did not replace the offense of Jacoby Ellsbury. They need to do that. And I feel like these guys are still in it, but they need to be buyers. They've got a nice stretch coming up here before the All-Star break, then 7 of 10 against Toronto. That's the team they need to catch.
We gave you the numbers on the Cubs the last 10 seasons. Over the last 2, they've lost close to 200 games. Paint a picture, though, for us. When does this start to get better for the Cubs?
Well, it has since the 1st of June. They're 17 and 13 since the end of May. But when you look at this team out on the field right now, this is not the team that you're going to see a year from now. When Theo Epstein came here, yeah, he won the World Series in 04 and 07. But the number one thing he did was to rebuild the farm system of the Red Sox. He is getting that done as we speak with the Chicago Cubs.
All right, versatility is not our strength up here in the booth. Doug Lanville, meanwhile, very versatile. We're going to ask Dougie tonight to play all 3 outfield spots here at Fenway, starting off atop the Green Monster.
That's right, John. I am atop the Green Monster, 37 feet above the ground, and this is the toughest outfield in baseball. You got a lot of things to navigate, so let's start with left field. Left field has the shortest left field porch in baseball, 310 feet down the line, aggressively goes out to 379 in the deep gap. You also have this 37-foot-high albatross over left fielder's shoulders. So you have to navigate all the nooks on this wall, which is the ladders, the windows. It could ricochet any which way, any direction. So outfielders have to back up and be cautious. But now moving from the Green Monster, the center field section has a triangle, equivalent to like a Bermuda Triangle for all the outfielders that get lost there. If you misplay it, if you overplay it or underplay it, it will ricochet and it turns into an automatic triple. So you work your way around this field. You see all the angles and elements of a pinball machine, and everybody has to work in sync as an outfield. When you move over to the pesky pole in the corner, now it's about fielding ground balls. If you're over-aggressive as a right fielder, that ball will roll around that corner and end up in 3-land triple country. So when you think about how you have to operate, you have to be a unit. Every ball is hit to you. Doesn't matter what position. You back up your teammates, and all of a sudden you can neutralize the effects of one of the toughest outfields in baseball.
All right, going to be interesting to check in during the game. Here's a Cubs starting lineup. Coghlan and Ruggiano up top, but it's Rizzo and Castro that really make them go. They're 12th in the league in runs per game, and Chris Coghlan starts it off as they will go up against Brandon Workman. The first offering is in there tonight for a strike.
Well, you think about Brandon Workman a year ago. He was solid the second half of the season, terrific in the postseason, and he's really been one of the bright spots for the Red Sox coming up to this point.
What do we look for as far as Workman stuff-wise and how he'll attack hitters?
90 to 96 miles an hour with a fastball. You're going to see a lot of cutters, and when he needs to put you away, it's that 1 to 7 curveball that the Cubs know about.
The Workman, a 2nd-round pick out of the University of Texas in 2010. Pitching has not really been the issue for the Red Sox. 4th in the league in ERA. The bullpen has been brilliant, led, of course, by Koji Uehara, despite the hiccup last night.
A lot of people will remember Chris Coghlan a few years ago with the Florida Marlins back then. Outstanding player. Looked like he was going to have a terrific career. Starting to put together better at bats, we were told before last night's game.
And right there takes a walk. So the leadoff man is aboard. And Brandon Workman on a hot, humid night. See him frustrated already. What's an issue on a night like tonight when you were sweating from the jump? Obviously you get loose early, but what are some of the challenges out there?
Well, the biggest thing for a young starting pitcher, a guy that's just getting his big league career going, you control all of your pitches down in the bullpen, but all of a sudden the adrenaline hits you, unlike down there in the bullpen when that hitter steps in, and that's what got away from him there on those first few fastballs.
And now the center fielder Ruggiano.
They're going to try to run. We know the number. The opponents are 13 for 14 in stolen bases against Workman. Of course, A.J. Pierzynski, not the 27-year-old that he once was as far as his throws from the catching position.
Really took his time in delivering that strike.
Well, as a base runner, you become very confident when you see the pitcher already starting out changing his rhythms. It shows that he's aware of this going into the game, and therefore you can have him against the wall a little bit to disrupt his rhythm from jump.
Yeah, it's an interesting point. I mean, holding that long, he is clearly aware of Coughlin at first immediately.
Yeah, and you know what that tells you. If he's thinking about the guy at first, his focus is not totally on the guy at home plate, and this guy at home plate has got some power.
And I'm sure Workman is aware of the numbers. You mentioned the stolen base success, so he's trying to make adjustments, but he doesn't want to make such a great adjustment that now he can't locate.
There goes the runner, and that one driven. There's that power left field on its way and gone. He crushed it. Justin Ruggiano blasts a two-run homer, and that quickly the Cubs jump out front.
Sometimes you just get too caught up in the numbers. 13 for 14 in the stolen base attempts. You're doing everything you can to try to keep him from doing that, and what happens? You miss your location with the guy at home plate, and he's got the ability to hurt you.
That's exactly your job as the base runner, getting on base, causing havoc, taking Workman. So he got out of his rhythm, tried to sort of quick pitch, slide step a little bit, and all it takes is that game of inches, a couple inches to the heart of the plate, and boom, it's over the Green Monster.
Dougie, how did you feel like you read that one off the bat up there on top of the monster? Did you have a good first step as far as that blast over the wall?
Oh, yeah. Right now I'm playing straight up, no problem. I knew it was hooking right out of the gate. I didn't even flinch.
Playing straight up out there. I like it.
Nor did Johnny Gomes. He kind of cringed, but he knew there was nowhere for him to go out there in left field.
Just getting started here at Fenway. Cubs going for a sweep. And now Mike Napoli coming in from first to chat with the 25-year-old native of Texas.
I like this. This is leadership here. The last time Brandon Workman heard the voice of Mike Napoli was when Chris Coughlin took off for second, and he hollered, "There he goes." And with a lot of young pitchers, Doug, as you well know, I mean, that's all they need to hear, and they think obviously he's going to take it. The next thing you know, he got taken deep.
Green lighted him, and he swung through it. Napoli as well, a former catcher. I don't know that that necessarily means anything in that spot, but he's certainly one of the leaders on this team. And Rizzo draws a walk. That's one of the things with Rizzo, a guy who will control the strike zone. The Workman coming in had walked 14 and 41 and a third.
The shortstop, number 13, Starlin Castro.
And here comes Starlin Castro.
A lot of people in Chicago right now trying to figure out who the Chicago Cub All-Star would be, could be, or should be. Coin toss, I believe, going on right now between Rizzo and Castro. Of course, Jason Hamill and Jeff Samardzija even in the mix.
Rizzo got a great jump throw. Safe.
Just an outstanding jump right here on the part of Rizzo. Terrific anticipation. He knows he's got to do that. There's not anything more that A.J. Pierzynski can do there. The jump and the 1.5, I would say, to home plate, just too much to get Rizzo.
And this is what the Cubs can do. You win the first 2 games, you're feeling comfortable. Now you can try things. And it's a young team that's got to experiment, try to work outside the box, and confidence with an early lead. They can try all kind of new concepts.
You alluded, Rick, to 1.5 seconds to home plate for Workman. What's about average as far as a big leaguer?
It needs to be 1.2, particularly when you have a good base runner. And I don't even know in his prime if 1.2 would have gotten Dougie out there. I mean, you need a guy like Pudge Rodriguez, Yadier Molina behind home plate to make that throw. But it's just simple math.
He is really having a tough time consistently executing his pitches. And now the veteran Pierzynski comes out to chat with him.
And guys, you mentioned the time to home. That's public domain. Everybody knows that. The Cubs know it. So they have him on the clock, and they know if he's below a certain number or above a certain number, that's going to dictate how well and how aggressive you can be in stealing bases. So as Sut mentioned, it's about math, and basically straight up you can figure out who you can run out of the stadium and who you can't.
And already activity down there in that Cubs bullpen. Felix Doubront getting loose. Well, twice with 3-0. They had the green light, and twice they swung through the fastball.
Yeah, I'm not sure I like that one there. I'm not sure I like that one there. I know Castro's job is to drive in runs, and he's the best thing they have as a number 4 hitter, but he's not David Ortiz.
And a swing through that as well. Castro, a guy who debuted when he was 20 years old. You know what that's like. And after a nice first few seasons, last year went backwards big time, hit just .245, and now he's regained his form in 2014.
I think what happened was people forgot last year what he had done, as you mentioned, the 2 years before. He was an all-star in 11 and 12, one of the youngest all-stars in the history of the Cubs, one of the youngest players ever to lead the National League in hits. He's just doing what he did before last year again this season.
That is ripped left center field. Betts over to grab it. Rizzo will come in and score, and it's 3-0. So 4 hitters, you got 2 walks and 2 bullets.
I tell you who's feeling real good right now is manager Rick Renteria. Sendon Coghlan created bad location on the home run to Rizziano. Rizzo, the big slow first baseman, giving him the green light. He gets into scoring position, and then once again Workman falling behind a Cub hitter. All he can do is rear back and try to throw as hard as he can to try to get an out, and he's yet been able to do that here in the top of the first.
Provokes lust. It elicits pride, incites envy, and unleashes wrath. Temptation comes in many heart-pounding forms, but only one letter. F, the performance mark from Lexus.
Thank you, Daddy, for defending our country.
Thank you for your sacrifice, and thank you for your bravery.
Thank you, Colonel.
Thank you, Daddy.
Military families are uniquely thankful for many things. The legacy of USAA Auto Insurance can be one of them. If you're a current or former military member or their family, get an auto insurance quote and see why 92% of our members plan to stay for life.
Now, use your MasterCard at any restaurant, and MasterCard will make a donation to Stand Up to Cancer.
Hey, guys. I just want to thank you for standing up to cancer. Okay, I gotta go. What time do you guys close?
6:30.
Ah! Girls, thank you for standing up to cancer. Thank you for standing up to cancer.
Getting together for a great cause?
Pretty sweaty.
Priceless. Spend $10 or more with your MasterCard when you dine out, and MasterCard will donate up to $4 million to Stand Up to Cancer, one precious cent at a time.
Hercules, the gods who killed your family have unleashed hell on earth.
The people need a hero.
Take revenge for your family and restore order to this world.
Your legend ends here. Do I look afraid?
In that case,
Hercules in Real D 3D and IMAX 3D, July 25th.
Applebee's Take Two menu lets you choose 2 entrees on 1 plate, like the new grilled by Dahlia onion sirloin or the new light and zesty shrimp scampi linguine. You can have both. Great choice, buddy. Applebee's Take Two menu starting at $10.99. See you tomorrow.
I'm Adnan Burke back in studio. Hope you're enjoying the game you're watching. We'll get you there in just a second, right after this.
Hey, this Wendy's salad really tastes like summertime.
Told you. Summer in a bowl.
What?
Sweet strawberries, chicken on the grill.
Did you do something different in here?
New salads.
Nothing captures the feeling of summer like Wendy's new Strawberry Field Salad. Fresh strawberries, bacon, and grilled chicken on a bed of fresh greens.
Now that's better.
And now kids' meals just $1.99 after 4.
Well, you can tell everybody. Yeah, you can tell everybody. Go ahead and tell everybody. I'm the man, I'm the man, I'm the man.
Extraordinary moments happen every night in baseball. But on one night, they all happen in one place. And this year, all eyes will be on Minneapolis, where baseball's brightest stars will compete for home field advantage in the World Series. The 85th MLB All-Star Game, July 15th.
Want a lean, flat stomach? Now, Navy SEAL has invented the ultimate ab machine, the Ab Carver Pro. Inside is a carbon steel spring that coils up and then pushes back for the most powerful way to carve your core. The Ab Carver Pro is only 2 payments of $19.95. We'll include a set of Perfect Fitness knee pads free. And now the Ab Carver is completely risk-free.
We will refund all of your money and even pay for return shipping if you're not 100% satisfied.
Get yours at abcarverpro.com or these retailers.
Attention Risperdal users. Risperdal, an antipsychotic drug, has been linked to gynecomastia. This serious condition causes the growth of female breast tissue in both men and boys. If you or your son have developed female breasts after taking Risperdal, you may be entitled to compensation. Call the Risperdal helpline for a free consultation today. Our network of attorneys are ready to fight for you. If you are a male and develop female breast tissue after taking the Risperdal, take action.
Call 800-970-1980.
Yeah, beating up on the lefties, as you see right there. 29 of his 44 starts, including tonight against left-handed starters. But still, yeah, 15 starts against righties. You know, you touched on this off the air. Last year, the combo, we talked about what the A's do, combining players. That player, that Nava-Gomes combo in left, was out of sight.
And really all over. In left field, center field, and right field, they either combine to drive in 100 or score 100. They're not going to do that at any of the three. You were talking about the lack of power for Dustin Pedroia. You got to go back to the month of May, the last time Johnny Gomes hit a home run. These Red Sox fans would certainly like to see that change.
I think for Red Sox fans, baby steps, right? 7 straight home games, John Farrell's team has scored 2 or less.
You want to know what turned Travis Wood around? This pitch right here. I mean, it's a generous call right there, but his ability to backdoor that cut fastball to right-handed hitters is as good as anybody in the game.
Ripped towards center field. Ruggiano coming on and makes the grab. Gomes hit it right on the button. Red Sox leave a couple. We're at the end of one here at Fenway.
A July 4th doubleheader. Baseball rules on ESPN.